What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's Monday, March 9th, 2015. I'm Jeremy, talking about what you can do today to make tomorrow better. Today's tip, starting off a brand new week, be careful who you let affect your feelings. There's always going to be emotions and emotional control and how you deal and how you react. But I was trying to figure out a way to vocalize this point. There's road rage. You can go from 0 to 100 like that. And I kind of did that tonight, not to 100, but enough. And the worst part about it was I was coming back from church and I was in such a peaceful place. Didn't even have my music on though, because I was getting texts and I wasn't responding, but I was reading. And going down Mulholland and then getting on to Beverly Glen, there was a car in front of me. The speed limit's 25 for a short portion, then it goes to 35. Well, this car was going 20 to 25 and it would slow down to 20. And at first, being in a, good place, just relaxed, I was just not thinking about it. And then it kept happening all the way down, and then there was a ton of cars right behind me, and I started to get a little really, what is it's ridiculous. And then I started thinking, all right, now she might be, or I didn't know it was a she at the time, couldn't tell, but I was like, they might just be doing it on purpose, passive aggressive. There was just a person got videotaped that went viral on the 101 freeway last week doing that, slowing down, and the car in front of it hit it. The car behind it hit him. And so I started really? And then it gets to the 35 section. It was just the whole thing where they would slow down 5 miles below the limit and go that for a while, all on the brake, force everybody to stop. And then it got to the point where I was just I wasn't thinking about anything else other than this idiot in front of me, and completely took me out of the mild place I was in, coming from church where, the preacher, let the preacher affect you through God, let God affect you. But don't let some idiot driver affect you. And there's got to be a way to do that. There's got to be, I'm sure there is ways to do that. If I just had on music instead of paying attention to text. Normally when I do get music on and I get into that, and sometimes I'll be behind an idiot driver for 30 minutes or whatever, 10 minutes, and then I'll realize, wow, these idiots haven't been going whatever. But usually it's on the freeway, so then when you realize it, you can get around them. This was a one lane, so you couldn't do that. But it wasn't as long as a long stretch of freeway. Anyway, point is, I got to a point where finally, when they hit their brakes, after I just looked down, then I looked up and they had hit on their brakes again. I had to slam on my brakes, cause a chain reaction, no accident. But then I finally shined my high beams because it was just getting dark. I flashed my high beams to show my displeasure and probably scream, "What the hell are you doing?" They couldn't hear that. Then we get to the point where it finally splits off and they go and they start to veer to the left. I'm like, thank goodness I'm going right. So I start to go by. But then as they're going left, they start to creep back into my lane. They're halfway in between it and force me to go off. And then that's just when I lost it. And I was just beat my horn. I was like, you idiot. And then I look over and I see it's this little old lady. And I'm like, so I immediately felt this rush of guilt. And I felt bad. Although I do feel geez, it could be dangerous. God bless if any of my grandparents or grandma was around. I would hate someone to do that, but I'd also be worried about them driving, period, because she was clearly a very scared, cautious driver. But regardless, she can drive wherever she wants. I just need to make sure it doesn't affect me. I gotta, there's plenty of ways and just plenty of things to focus on. I've talked about it, and don't let it affect me or you or anyone that way. Because you're always going to encounter that. It's just road rage is just another example of life, because people are always going to do things that annoy you, that inconvenience you, that encroach on your time, on your value, and all that stuff, and you just got to learn to deal with it. And there's different ways for different situations. Biggest thing is introspection and figuring out what you can do, how you can get yourself to a place where you're not focused on people that can influence you that you shouldn't be. So take yourself, do your Zen thing, do whatever you got to do. Just think about it, and when you find yourself starting to focus on something negative like that and letting it bother you, it's going to be impossible to avoid that all the time. It's impossible. I mean, it's just, but you can put in some sort of effort into trying to alleviate that, just to like avoid taking yourself from a nice Zen peaceful state into that of frustration and then guilt and then whatever. It's like a little lesson there. So I had another point I wanted to make. I forgot it now, and it's already past the 2-3 minute mark. So just think about that. Try to keep yourself at peace. Don't focus on things that you shouldn't be. Only let the right influences affect you and your state of mind and your emotions. And life will be a lot more peaceful, be a lot better tomorrows than today. Remember that, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a good Monday.